Hello and welcome. We're coming to you from the Cowichan Valley or the Quatsin Territory, and today we will be sharing our Sol y Luna Inspirations offering. This is Martin Comtois, also known as MC Starman,
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
and my name is Diana Robinson, or Daystar. We're going to be talking predominantly about the Aquarius New Moon, as it also is right before Imbolc, so they're very close this year, which is exciting. January 31st at 9:46 p.m. is when the peak of the new moon will be at 12 degrees of Aquarius. So it's a good spot to look in your chart if you follow your chart. And then we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Like I said, Imbolc is one of them. The other thing would be...
So we're going to talk about the Aquarius as the water bearer and what is the sign of Aquarius and the sun traveling through Aquarius. Being at its weakest in Aquarius.
The new moon. So the moon is also with the sun, and then it's also conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, and they're making a square to Uranus. So there's a lot of energy there.
Pluto Mercury retrograde conjunction in Capricorn. So Mercury is turning direct on February 3rd. And we'll also make another conjunction to Pluto. So we'll talk about the meaning of the Pluto-Mercury conjunction.
And then Venus is also going to be going direct. Venus will be going direct actually before the new moon, just a couple days before, on the 29th, as it starts getting close to Mars, which will be making a full conjunction with Mars in Capricorn on March 3rd.
So the Imbolc new moon there, I think, was going to bring a lot of change of energy. And we'll also talk about the Jupiter applying conjunction to Neptune, which we'll be seeing later on in the winter here. Welcome everybody. This is nice to see everyone. Thanks for joining me again.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be doing these with you.
And so
you can kind of see going on right here. We have our beautiful crystal chart out with all the astrological signs here. The planets are the crystals, and you can see this new moon line up. So this is Earth. We got the moon, sun, and then Saturn over here on the other side, making a right direct alignment and conjunction.
And also it's Imbolc, right? So what is Imbolc?
What is Imbolc?
Imbolc, so we know Samhain, Samhain gets a lot of press. Samhain is Halloween, right? And so that's the Day of the Dead. That's the beginning of the dark season. From Samhain to Imbolc, and the middle is the winter solstice. That 3 months period from Samhain to Imbolc. So on the chart here, it's from the middle of Aquarius to the middle of Scorpio. Okay, that's winter in the indigenous and pagan and Celtic systems. The winter starts at Samhain and ends at Imbolc. So this is a beginning of spring. And right at the beginning of spring, which is the 15th degree of Aquarius, we have at 12 degrees, we have a sun-moon conjunction in Aquarius. What does Aquarius feel to you today?
Aquarius, the water bearer, feels in polarity standpoint very masculine. It's also kind of detached. But it's also about, to me at least, it's a lot about knowledge and community and coming together. But it's a different flavor than when you come together in the summer. For
sure. Aquarius, the sun in Aquarius, so the sun entered in Aquarius around the 22nd, 21st of the month. So just as we're doing this video, is just entering into Aquarius. So the home of the sun is Leo. Leo is the beautiful, bright, sunny, August and end of July, August. So in Leo, the sun is exalted. Now, whenever you have a planet's ruling sign is in the opposite, when that planet is in the opposite of a ruling sign, she's usually in detriment. She is weak. And so the sun is weak in Aquarius. meaning that the personality of the Aquarian is self-effacing. It likes to put focus on other things. So that natural detachment, you know, the Aquarius doesn't want to be the center of attention. He wants to be the commentary. He wants to tell his perspective of who is giving the show, you know. So Leo, you know, so, and then we talk about the age of Aquarius, you know, so the age of Aquarius, it's about an idea of harmony, but the Leo, the individual, has to find his place in community. So that we're going to be, you know, exploring that a lot. And this new moon really gives us an opportunity to really explore that, in that it is in conjunction with Saturn, the ruler of Aquarius, but also in square to Uranus, also the ruler of Aquarius. Yes. Yeah. So that's a very Aquarian moon. And then we've seen the Saturn Uranus square throughout 2021, and we're going to be getting, you know, talking about it a lot more. I have a nice video on the YouTube channel. I'll put the link at the end of the video on the Saturn Uranus square in our the Saturn Uranus cycle in our times.
It's a great video, and it's something we've been going through for a while now. It's really been pressing during these crazy times of crisis, so I recommend it. It's goody. Yeah.
So, and then we have a lot in this, you know, again, Saturn rules Aquarius, Capricorn as well. And then we have a lot going on in Capricorn still. And so that Capricorn energy is really big. What's going on in Capricorn?
We've got the sun and we've got Mars and Venus yet again. Like we said, they're going to be making conjunction later on this spring. And then we've got Mercury still going backwards and retrograde in Capricorn, and Pluto still holding ground at the end. So there's going to be a lot of these personal planets hitting Capricorn coming up here.
So let's look at the chart and give us a little bit of a better idea of what's going on. So here we have the Sun, Moon, Saturn conjunction in Aquarius in square to Uranus. And here we have all of the Capricorn planets. So both Venus and Mercury have been going retrograde. Now on the 3rd so right at the point of Imbolc, Mercury turns direct, and right before the new moon on the 29th, Venus turns direct. And so, you know, that's going to really bring a lot of movement forward. It's like we've been in a gestation period and a dark side of the year. Now the sun is starting to become stronger again. We're starting to feel spring, and then Mercury and Venus turning direct. I think that that's going to feel like a really good moon for everybody, huh?
I agree.
And although on this side of it, it may be still a little bit dark, I think that we're going to start picking up some momentum.
Mercury in conjunction to Pluto might give us some other thoughts about things.
well, see, that's going to be, so we had Mercury came by in December and made a conjunction to Pluto. Then it went all the way to Saturn, and then it turned retrograde, conjunct the sun over here, then past Pluto, and now it's going to turn direct and past Pluto again, going that way. So we got to live 3 conjunctions of Mercury, Pluto. But the same thing with Venus. Venus went in December, right around Christmas time, past Pluto, then turned retrograde past Pluto again. And then now Venus is just about to go direct again. And then Mars is joining hand with Venus, and they're going to be traveling together, and slowly and surely. And then they're going to come into almost exact conjunction with Pluto on March 2nd, 3rd there. And so we're going to keep an eye on that. But that's the Capricorn, Pluto, and the Saturn, Uranus.
Lots of Capricorn energy still.
Yes, that's Saturn ruling all of that. You know, that's pretty intense, but we have some good news over here, don't we?
Things are moving forward.
So that Jupiter-Neptune conjunction that's growing, we have Jupiter and Neptune
That's going to be pretty profound, hey? That's coming in the coming months.
Well, those are the two rulers of Pisces, and Jupiter came in, with the beginning of the year into Pisces,
Yeah.
and by the Pisces new moon in towards the end of February, there, beginning of March, at the same time as Venus and Mars conjunct Pluto, will have a new moon in conjunction with Jupiter and Neptune. And so that's, we'll be looking at these energies a lot, but Jupiter, the ruler of Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces is like the wise teacher, and Neptune in Pisces is the quest for redemption, for ending the pain of the material world. We're really craving for the end of suffering, and so that bodes well for summer. And then you have some how you been feeling that yourself?
It's been some sticky and thick are the words I'm using for energy a lot these days. Feeling a little sticky and thick. I'm excited to start stretching and moving energy. I really felt the shift of Sun going to Aquarius though.
I found my dream world to be really active, getting some really powerful dreams. I've been making a lot of art with my dreams. So it's a really good time for inner work, but it's not really that cheery of a time. It seems like a lot of us are going through some pretty intense times. And again, because of that Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, the Saturn Uranus square, that's all, the collective energies are really weighing on our mind. But I think we're all hoping for a better spring. And so with this new moon, we're hope that we feel that energy changing, huh? And you got some really neat things for us. Tell us about what you got to talk to us about.
Yeah, okay. So with the sun and this new moon in Aquarius, I'm really focusing in on the medicine that Aquarius archetype has to share with us. For the cell salts, so those 12 base salts that every body carries and works with, the Aquarius is the ruler of nat-mer, also natrum myrticum, or nowadays known as sodium chloride, which people know often as salt. The Aquarius is the water bearer, and yet again, this nat-mer tissue salt is the bearer salt that helps bring water to the body. And so it also helps balance water from what's within the body and what's outside the body, kind of like that Saturn comes down and lays down the law. This is the tissue salt that helps regulate and keep balance. Aquarius is also the ruler of our ankles and our calves. So be tender with that part of your body. Stretching is really lovely to do right now. And if you find that you're getting puffiness here, or you get swollen feet, that could be a sign that you're deficient in nat-mer. The most common deficiency signs of nat-mer, though, are when you maybe experience indigestion, such as gas and bloating. Also, when you are waking up in the morning, ready to meet the day, and you're feeling very weary and tired, can be a sign that you're very low in it. Also, if there's little maybe crusties on your eyes often, that's another sign that's having a hard time regulating the salt within the body, without the body, the water that's in and outside of a cell. And then another thing could be if you're drinking a lot of water and not feeling hydrated, or you're just not drinking enough water, then this is a great little tissue salt to put in your water. If you want a natural way of getting this salt, it's really prevalent, nat-mer, in sea salt and in celery. So chew on some celery and peanut butter. Celery and dates is a great adrenal snack, or a pinch of sea salt in your water to make sure you're staying hydrated. Really supportive ways to take care of the body during this Aquarius time.
So it would be kind of a really important thing to make sure that one is staying well hydrated, and to be paying attention to the water bearer within, huh?
Yes. And water bearer is like the water of information too, right? We often associate Aquarius with knowledge, and water holds information. So there's this careful, and then I think of the Pluto in conjunction to Mercury, and this carrying of communication information, and yet hitting this very powerful, I want to say dark Pluto. So it's really important maybe to be careful of what information we're sharing and what what kind of information we're sharing with ourselves and our body and ourself. It's a good time to put these things into consideration. I find it interesting that it's Imbolc coming, and Imbolc is represented often by the goddess Bridget, and she's the goddess that you would pray to for your writing or asking for inspiration for your creative endeavors. So maybe this new moon might be a very good time, if you feel so inclined, to take some time to connect with Bridget, or you're even in your inspiration and you're well thereof.
And journaling your dreams and keeping track of what's going on, making inventory, kind of a psychic spring cleaning, you know, we're coming into, you know, so get into self-care, but all throughout the winter there, we've been more, you know, needing that self-care, and then this is really emphasized. And as we move into spring, to make sure that we're well balanced as we prepare to embark on this journey that is 2022. Speaking of 2022, just a few days ago on Friday, I did a lecture for the Comox Valley Jung Society, and I had the opportunity to present my views on what I call the astrology of the Great Reset. I call the lecture 2022 Deuces Are Wild, and it is an archetypal perspective on the changing times. And in that lecture, I talk about first the setting of the scene, how the astrological alignments kind of announce this crisis that we're in and what we went through as a collective, in a sense really that long before this crisis came, we had the signs of the crisis, and that the crisis actually started long before this crisis. But then we saw 2020 and 2021 to be really very intense astrologically. And so then I explained these constellations and what happened during 2020 and 2021. And then the third part of the lecture, I talk about 2022 and what to expect and some of the main alignments. We talk about Jupiter, Neptune. We talk about that Mars with Venus, Pluto conjunction that comes at the beginning of March, and so and then we go into the whole year and also talk about what to expect in the middle of the decade. So that video, I will put a link to that and to the Saturn Uranus cycle in our times, two really important videos you can watch to give you insight into the times that we're going through.
Some great content.
Thank
really
you.
Good content.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking in with yourself, for endeavoring to always learn more, either through us or through astrology, whatever's called you here. Hope to get to connect with you again in 2 weeks' time, and have a wonderful, encouraging, and inspiring new moon.
So to close out, whoop, I'm MC Starman, Martin Comtois. I do astrology, dreams, support individuation. If creativity is a fire, I'm your biggest fan. And so Healer and the Dreamer Astrology at Gmail. And feel free to subscribe to the channel and to also
comment, like,
comment,
all that fun stuff.
If you have questions for Day, or if you have questions for me, comment section, and pass this thing around, and we'll keep building it till the solely lunar inspiration videos become mainstay in our community. Thanks for supporting us, you guys.
Much love.
Whoop, 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 whoop.